3 FM.
Powered by Carl Tyler's Missoula Volkswagen.
Newstalk KGVO. Depend on it.
KGVO Missoula Sports Talk Tonight and streaming online at newstalkkgvo.com.
Hot and balmy, Missoula, Montana. Denny at Sports Talk Tonight with Gurns and Bedard.
Yes, sir.
Neil Cavuto, what say you?
I say my dream is that one day this program will be known as the show that Guernsey built.
Really?
It's my goal.
Denny, I sense a segue. I sense a segue.
I'm going to take you to the next level one of these years. The show that Guernsey built.
I don't need to go any more levels.
We'll make a PBS documentary out of it.
It's in the air tonight.
Then we can only speak just above a whisper, but
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In honor of our special guest.
No foul language.
In honor of our special guest that a lot of people are going to recognize when we introduce her on the radio.
Yes, they will, and we're going to recognize her in 1 second. But this is Sports Talk Tonight with Gurns and Bedard, live from the KGVO studios. We are streaming worldwide on newstalkkgvo.com. On the AM side, 1290, over on the FM dial 98.3. Follow us on Twitter at Sports Talk Back. Podcasts online at newstalkkgvo.com. Our phone number, of course, 406-721-1290. Denny, nobody gives a rat's patootie what you and I have been up to.
No.
So we're not even going to go there.
If Megan had not been available, this would have been the fishing show talking about my fishing.
And that would have been fishing
expedition
for
on Monday. I landed a lot of bass, so I'll at least get that in and leave it at that.
I went to Silverwood where it took 35 minutes to get a cocktail, so I only ended up having one.
That took longer than my bass story. So anyway, I go to Nine Pipes Reservoir, and I'm just throwing lures, and I'm hooking lots of bass. That was my Monday vacation day.
You were hooking lots of bass, and I was sitting on my
I hooked
at Silverwood.
Hooked about a dozen, landed me 8, put them all back, thanked them.
I really don't like amusement rides. I don't like the spinny things and the upside down things.
Oh, you had to be Family Guy, didn't you?
And stuff. And so it was towards the end of the day, and everybody's getting cranky and tired, but they wanted to go hit the ride. So we're like, okay, we'll go, blah, blah, blah. We went to the Trimmer Terror.
Yes. Yeah.
Timber Terror.
Timber Terror, yeah.
There's trimmers, there's Timber Terror.
Yeah, I've seen and heard those advertised.
And my stepdaughter, Kinley, she went on the corkscrew, and it was great. She loved it. Kind of went upside down. I'm like, I'm not going on that thing.
Yeah.
And then we go, well, let's go on one more. Let's go on the Timber Terror. And I'm like, yeah. We start, me and Cam are in the front, and Kinley and Kelsey are in the back, and we start, and it's like, oh, boy, this is not going to be good. And we start heading downhill, and all of a sudden, I hear screaming and crying from behind me. And I said one particular word about 1,000 times, my son said, and it was scary.
Yeah.
I hate those things. And it was rattling, and you had to... Anyways, we digress.
We do.
Hey, first-time guest, long-time listener, I'm sure.
Of course.
Former Montana Lady Grizzly.
Yeah, we're big in L.A.
From Missoula, Montana, coming to us from Los Angeles, California. I don't know why she's down there, but we're going to get to that. Megan Harrington. How's it going, Meg?
Doing well. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, been a long time.
It has. It certainly has. So I'm in the presence of legends.
In our own minds, of course.
They must be in the cupboard somewhere.
And Megan is here to talk about a very an awesome deal.
Oh, this is incredible.
In relation to Robin Selvig and his career, The House That Rob Built, producing a documentary. And Meg, why don't you just tell us about it, Megan?
Sure. So it's called, as you said, The House That Rob Built, and we all know Robin Selvig. His presence. He's a legend here in the state, but he is one of the most winningest coaches in the nation. And when he took over in 1978, people didn't take women seriously as athletes. Nobody really knew there was even a basketball program at the University of Montana. And so when he got there, he built the program from the ground up with ladies who, before that hadn't had people come watch them play. And he made them believe in something bigger than themselves. And what he created here, it's the third toughest place to play in the country when he retired. I'm from Montana, so I think, wow, I love sports stories. I love telling stories. And so I found it obviously particularly interesting. But I think it's just a bigger story than Missoula. It was happening everywhere. And to capture that here, that time period, and what he was doing, it's hard to believe that women couldn't play sports 40 years ago in college. And to see where it's come is, to me, incredible. And I think it could be a beautiful story to tell.
I guess we should get to your background a little bit. What, how did you end up in this vocation? What are you doing professionally, and how did you end up here?
Well, I moved to LA 7 years ago. I was working at the Montana World Trade Center, loved my job, had a great boss, but I had jury duty, and it was a terrible case. And so I went and got spiritual direction from the priest, and I was just like, okay, what are the next steps? You know, kind of just exploring whole life next steps, and kind of said, I keep having this, I really would like to do something in entertainment. And so we talked through it, and I applied for this program called Act One. And I have 10 brothers and sisters. And I said, I'm not going to tell anybody because there'll be 10 different opinions. And if I get in, I'll go. So I did. I'm real glad that I took that jump, and I ended up interning, not in my 20s as an intern, and then worked for a company called Empire Pictures and fell into the documentary world. And so just finished a documentary about dating called The Dating Project. And then this story came about. And so I wanted to jump on that.
And did you have to, people you work for, the company that you're associated with, did you have to go to them and say, hey, I got this idea. Let me tell you a little bit about my background. I was a Division I college basketball player. Here's the guy I played for. Did you have to kind of
Sell it?
There you go. Thank you. Yeah. Did you have to sell it?
Well, that's what I'm doing now, actually. This is independent production. So
Okay,
I'm doing this with a...
All by your lonesome.
Well, there's another woman involved, Catherine, who we did the dating project together. So it was coming to Montana PBS and saying we have this story, and of course Ray Eckness there was wonderful, a huge champion of the film. So it's really saying, okay, this is a project I want to take on. It's about my home state, but it's again just a much bigger story.
Wow.
And I suppose it's not only I'm sure you wanted to get this done and produce it because it's a great story. Number 2, you're involved with it.
Right.
It's something that the public and people outside of the state of Montana probably need to hear and see about. But if this goes well, is that a pretty good feather in your cap for propelling you onward? I mean, is that
of course, yes, that would be wonderful, and that's the goal in anything. When I was down in one of the first things when I was at some event, and it was for John Debney, I think, with a composer, and he was telling a story, and he's very successful, and he said, do every movie like it's your first. And I really took that to heart of, anything that you do, and I think that comes down from Rob, of anything that you do, you should try to do with excellence. So, yes, that would be wonderful, goes well. Maybe it could propel me on, but anything that you approach, I just want it to be done well.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if you get a chance, go to thehousethatobrobbuiltmovie.com, and there's a 2-minute and 57-second trailer on there, and I can't wait to watch. I mean, I'm hooked, and I've familiar with the Lady Griz.
Yes.
Playing football here, I hung out with the Shannon Kate and Kelly Pilcher and
amazing
and just
ladies
right in the middle of when it was when it was super big, and seeing some of those gals on there and listening to them talk and get emotional, and then I start getting a little emotional, and it's like it is a great, if you want to see what that's going to be like, watch that trailer and you'll be hooked. It was awesome. I mean, it looks totally professional, and it looks like big time filming. Looks great.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. That was the goal, is to have it feel like you're watching a film.
And the old footage and the old colors and the old jerseys and the old hairstyle. The old shorts.
Yeah. Well, she had a lot of decades to cover there. And as far as your journey to the team when you were being recruited, you'd mentioned when Robin first started, not a lot of people knew what women's college basketball was. They didn't know what a Lady Griz was or were. You got there about 20 years into that, mid to late 90s. Do you remember a lot about your whole recruiting process? Were you just, I want to be a Lady Griz so bad? Please ask me. What was your recruiting journey like?
Well, yes, when I grew up, that's all. He lived down the road. Actually, Rob was a neighbor that was just on the same street. So I just dribble by every morning with my left hand. I'm like, look at this.
And so even when she pantomimes it, she dribbles really high. That's what I remember about Harrington.
That was a problem.
I'm thinking, Harrington, you're not supposed to dribble up to your ear, are you? I don't know, but caught his eye anyway.
So I I did always want to be a Lady Griz. And those girls, back when you could go up, you'd have them up to the house for the NCAA and selection. I remember they could be going by the Shannons or the Jean McNultys. And I hate to even name names because it was all of them that you looked up to. And in 4th grade, I wrote a poem, and that's what I was going to do, And it got to senior year, and I was like, he pretty much, I think, decided on whose guards were going to be, or there maybe wasn't much room. And I remember one night, it was January, so it was late in recruiting. And I do play tricks on people sometimes. So I get a phone call. My sister, it's about 9:30, and my sister said, I think it's Rob Selvig. And I was like, why is Rob Selvig calling me? I think they were on the road even. So I get on the phone, and he's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, good, Mr. Selvig, nice to talk to you. And he said, well, I have a scholarship. Do you want it? And I said, who is this? And he said, it's Rob Selvig. And I said, no, who is this? You're playing a joke on me. And that went back and forth for a little while. And then he finally said, listen, do you want the scholarship or not? And I said, yes. I start crying, telling him, you'll never regret it, which he did. And I hung up. Well, I go upstairs. I tell my parents, we're all emotional because I was a little girl in Missoula, and I have a big family, and that was important to have them be there. And they're like, oh, that's so, and they said, do you really think it was him? And now I'm like,
gee whiz.
So I told everybody I could. I called friends just to say, well, geez, if it isn't true, now everybody knows. And it'd be pretty awkward.
You can't take it back. If it wasn't
I had to think quickly.
But who do you know that would have been that cruel about Guernsey?
Oh,
yeah.
Was that you?
Every one of her family members.
Yeah, it could have been a brother.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah, when you got that many siblings, I suppose.
I'm not smart enough to play jokes like that. Can't even remember any jokes. Hey, we're talking with Megan Harrington here, former Montana Lady Griz. She's talking about the house that Rob built, a documentary that I'm assuming will come out shortly? Or what's the...
Yeah, where are you at on the process?
So, it looks... It's probably one thing that's deceiving. The trailer's wonderful, but the film's not finished. It's a tool to raise funds, and it's a tax-deductible donation. So we have 45 player interviews. We have 15 other interviews, including Rob's, Jed Heathcote, Stu Morrill. So we still have other filming to do, but we wanted, clearly 45 people won't be in the film, but that footage could be used in so many different ways, either through the university. There's wonderful snippets we have from girls from the first season up to, his final season. So we're in the process of developing the project.
Yeah, so some of it still has to hit the cutting room floor. What is your desired duration? How long do you anticipate this length to be?
Montana PBS is distributing it, so an hour length. But we'll make the best film we can, and then see where we're at, and then go, okay, where do we need to get to from that point? So it could be 90 minutes, and then you go down.
Well, yeah, I mean the key is to get as much that you can, and then weed through it. And
yes, it's to make the greatest film. What does that length look like? And then get it to where what our distributor needs after that.
And of course, we all know how much Robin Selvig loves attention and publicity. What was that like?
Oh, he is a true
you
champ.
Called him. I know what happened. You called him and you said it's Megan Harrington. And he goes, "Who is this really?"
Yeah.
You're
That's what he wished he would have done.
A joke on me. Who is this?
I mean, that had to have been your toughest phone call probably in the whole process, just to get the ball rolling.
Well, it is because he doesn't like that, and everything is about other people. And so I called him. Unfortunately, it was shortly after he retired, and I said, "Hey, so love to do this documentary. It's about you, but it's also about this whole wonderful thing that's been built in this community that's amazing in small town America. And look what's been created." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know, Meg. I don't know, I said, "Well, you know what? Why don't you just think about it, pray about it. I'll call you back Friday." It was Tuesday, and he goes, "Geez, Meg, that's 2 days." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a little. I'm going to back off." So I gave him a month, and then.
But you've got all these gals coming to town, for this deal, and it's like, hey, they're all here. I mean, what a perfect opportunity to get these interviews in.
Well, that was the big thing, because normally you would like to raise the funds to go do that, and we just, thankfully for some family assistance, and I just said we have to get that reunion. And the players that will be there, and not only for that, but the feelings that they will have during that time. And it really was to see him walk in, and over 100 women are cheering, and just the emotion that was with that, to capture that was really great. And it won't all be in the film, but it's all there, so we can turn it into something else. Reprocess some of this footage.
Wow. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have more with Megan Harrington. Talk a little bit more about the documentary, The House That Rob Built, documentary to profile former Montana Lady Griz basketball coach Robin Selvig.
We can drop trivia.
That, let's get trivia in there. Sorry, Denny.
I have Megan Harrington
That whole
trivia.
spiel, that sounded good. It didn't even count.
Yeah.
Is there a trivia?
Oh, boy.
Yes, ma'am, there is.
boy.
I think you'll like it.
All right, Denny. Sorry.
Thank you, Gurns. 721-1290. If you know the answer to our trivia, we are brought to you by Fuddruckers, world's greatest hamburgers. Whatever you order off that menu, you get to top it yourself to make it perfect. That would include their brand new half-pound spicy sriracha pimento cheese and smokehouse bacon burger. Gurns.
That's a mouthful. No
Yes,
pun
sir.
intended, Denny.
A lot of local microbrews on tap, too, at Fuddruckers North Reserve. You get a $10 gift certificate. From Brent and the crew at Happy Days Car Wash, you need a clean car, we'll fix you right up with a gift card for the Works Car Wash at Happy Days. They are on Brook Street between Pizza Hut and Fairbridge Inn. Also, we'll set you up with a couple of tickets to a Missoula Osprey baseball game. We got 2 reserved seats to their game next Wednesday night. That's July 26th, taking on the Idaho Falls Chuckers. With a name like Chuckers, they have to be good. And, soda pops and popcorn in there, too. So a prize package that will put you into another higher tax bracket at 721-1290 if you know the answer to our trivia. And as hopefully you've been listening, former Lady Griz, Megan Harrington, our in-studio guest tonight, talking about the documentary she's working on, The House that Rob Built. Megan was part of some very, very good Lady Griz teams, including 1999-2000, where she led the team in 2 major statistical categories. Were they A, scoring and rebounding, B, blocks and free throw percentage, or C, steals and assists? Megan led the team in 2 major stat categories in 99-2000. Were they A, scoring and rebounding, B, blocks and free throw percentage, or C, steals and assists? That incredible prize package waiting for a winner at 721-1290.
And don't make up a D, turnovers either.
I was going to say that. You took my joke.
Hey, call us and you can win a fabulous prize package
Yes,
here
sir.
on Sports Talk Tonight. We'll be right back with more Megan Harrington when we come back after this.
That's hysterical.
At the big store on Brooks, across from the Southgate Mall, OAC.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
We are back. Sports Talk Tonight, Gurns and Bedard, brought to you by the Orange Street Food Farm, locally owned and operated grocery store featuring the freshest fruits and vegetables, fresh meats, and a great beer and wine selection. And by Grizzly Liquor, located downtown next to the Iron Horse, Big Sky, Big Selection, and online at grizzlyliquor.com. Before we get back with Megan Harrington, Denny, I do believe you have yourself... Oh, boy.
Yeah, the phone started ringing, and Megan jokingly says, that's probably my dad playing. Well, not quite. We do have a fellow named Mike Harrington on the line, though. How are you, Mike?
Block the line.
Good, thanks. Megan, I'm a big winner tonight.
Got the headphones. I left her a set, too, if she wants to put them in. Can you hear him okay there, Megan?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pretending I
Unfortunately.
can't, but I still can hear.
Yeah, Mike, are you an older brother, younger brother? What are you exactly?
I'm her oldest brother, Denny.
All right. Well, that's just how popular Sports Talk Tonight trivia. We'll let anybody play. We don't care.
It was busy.
Maybe you've
It
heard
was
of.
busy.
Well, yeah, we do. We get a few people trying to get in there. Mike Harrington of Missoula, of course, by the way. Maybe you've heard of Lady Griz, Megan Harrington, our guest tonight. Very good team she played on, including that 99-2000 team. She led them in 2 major statistical categories. Were they A, scoring and rebounding, B, blocks and free throw percentage, or C, steals and assists? What do you think, Mike?
I went with steals and assists only because Guernsey said we couldn't go with turnovers. That was the clincher.
Cut him off.
Judges, is that the correct answer over there, judges?
I don't even know. It's got to be C.
All right, fine.
It cannot be A or B.
Steals and assists. She was crafty. Mm-hmm. 55 steals, 115 assists to lead the team in those 2 categories. Lady Griz went 22-8 that year. They won the Big Sky with a 13-3 conference record and made an appearance in the NCAA tourney. And I don't mean any disrespect, but as I recall about that team, as far as assists goes, you could pretty much pass it to anybody, and they'd score.
It was kind of unfair to have that be a
you had
that year.
Yeah. And it must have been awfully well balanced. I was looking at some of the. I think Lauren Cooper was your leading scorer that year.
Yeah, Linda Weiler, Krista Redpath.
Yeah, Weiler,
it
Redpath.
Was just,
yeah, and Lauren, she was leading score, but averaged like 13-8 a game. I mean, it wasn't something off the charts. That's how well balanced they were. So.
That was a great team. Yeah.
So no offense, but hey, you can throw it to anybody.
None taken. You met my brother. So.
Mike, the rule to win the prize package is that you now have to be a member of the Sports Talk Tonight listening family for life. Okay, just so you know.
That sounds awesome, guys. I'm in for sure.
All right, we'll get your prize package to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
I'll bring it home.
Talk to you later. Okay, Megan. See you later.
Well, what are the chances that Mike sees that prize package?
It got lost on the way home.
All right. Well, at least write his name on the envelope, and then hand it over to Megan.
Awesome. Well, hey, Megan, we're talking about the documentary, The House That Rob Built, and what a great project to honor a great dude and a great coach, et cetera, et cetera. But what I want to know is, what the heck do you do down in L.A. for fun? I mean, what's life like down in the big city of LA?
Clearly not at the beach, as you can tell by my skin.
I mean, how dealing with all the people and the traffic and I mean, how do you do that coming from Missoula, Montana?
Well, I was just on reserve, so there's a little flashback. We had an earthquake while I've been home. So, no, really, we live in Santa Monica, my sister and I, and so she's close to work. I'm close to Empower. I contract with them, or different projects are close, so I can walk a lot. Getting on the freeway is, even when I was moving there, everybody said, "Man, are you sure about the traffic?" It wasn't like there's gangs or there's millions of people and there's an earthquake that could, knock it off of the United States. It was the traffic, and it really is something. It'd be 3.5 miles, and it's an hour later. So you just have to manage it, though, like anywhere. And it's beautiful, pretty much all year round.
Mm-hmm.
January, I came back. It was so snowy this winter, which was beautiful. Then when I got back in January, it was 90, and I'm like, where? What month are we in at the moment?
Yeah.
So it's good. It's hard to be away from family. That's the thing I meant.
And of course, you were able to pursue this project because Robin Selberg retired, and in steps Shannon Schwain. Was Shannon the one who was on the recruiting trail for you, or was it who was recruiting you specifically?
I had talked with Rob. They really, I wasn't really probably on their target list of recruits.
Okay.
So he had talked to me for sure.
Your recruiting trail was dribbling by his house.
He had talked to me to say, we're not going to probably have room for you. That was my recruiting. I still want a home visit. I haven't got one. No, but that call was the best call ever, and it didn't matter when it came, but it did. So that was what matters.
Team faced a lot of challenges this year. Is it awkward to walk up to the head coach and offer words of encouragement? I'm sure you've had that exchange by now, like everybody else has.
Oh, I mean, it would just be so difficult to step in and have injury, big injury. They're not just small.
Well, not only are you walking into the footsteps of Selvig, but just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like your top three players are just done.
And almost just like that.
Yeah.
One after the other. Dominoes.
And your teams, when you were a player, you went through a similar situation about 98, 99, I want to say.
Yes, there were a lot of injuries that year.
Yeah.
Didn't you blow a knee?
I did.
Yeah.
It's bionic now.
So yeah, well.
Great.
Yeah.
Was that your junior year?
That was my junior year.
Right.
Yep, against the Bobcats. Ugh.
Oh, wow.
In Sentinel. It just like everything compounded. It was terrible.
But see, you came
Sentinel gym.
You came back next year to lead the team in steals, assists, and turnovers. So, you got...
Well, you might have.
According to
you were the point guard, so it might.
I probably did. There's probably a few other, records that I broke on the turnover.
Hey, I had the most punts in a season one time, which is kind of the same thing. It's not a very good.
That seems odd on those teams. Really?
92. We were 6-5.
Okay.
Started 1-5.
All right.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good year.
Yeah.
But yeah, dubious honor.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Hey, and now with Coach Stitt being the head coach, he doesn't like to punt, so I figure it's safe for as long as he's here. It's safe.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good about
preserving
being
your most punts in a season record. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Megan, hey, you're out raising funds to try to get this thing done, and that's kind of how it. I apologize, but GoFundMe and stuff, they do that. Is this kind of a?
They do.
Is this,
and that will be something we'll look at. At some point, we'll kind of maybe veer off towards that. Right now, I'm trying to meet with different sponsors, companies, organizations to kind of present the opportunity. I think it's also great for the university, just, a little good news, a little, hey, we have a great school. It's a wonderful place to go to school to get an education. We have a lot of young kids in the community that, I hope they can watch this, young women especially, and say, I want to be part of a team, to see the beauty of what it means to be part of a team, and, his integrity and kind of what player after player, he treated you as a person first. And that's really unique in Division I basketball, that you're not just a piece of property, that they're going to get something from you. He really wanted you to be a full person in every way.
Mm-hmm. And if somebody wants to donate or something to the movie, how do they do that?
Well, the website, thehouse-that-rob-built-movie.com. It's short, so it's easy to remember. There's a donate button there where you can do that. It's all tax deductible. Also through the UM Foundation, and that's at Montana PBS. So the checks can be made payable to UM Foundation-BMC-Selvig-Doc, and that go to KUFM TV at the university campus.
Well, and I tell you, if you want to see what this movie is going to be about, if you have any connection to Grizzly sports or the state of Montana or you name it, go to thehouse-that-rob-built.com and check out that trailer, because that's something else.
Yeah, please, and share and like it, and let people know that it's in the works.
Show me how to share stuff later, and I will. I think I can do it off of Facebook.
Kyle, our executive producer, knows that.
If I send it to my messenger and then send it to Facebook and then to my email, and then I share it.
I wonder how many hours go into making an hour to an hour and a half documentary.
A lot about there are, because it's not only interviews, but we have the footage from the reunion. We have the old school footage that we want to tap into once the story's there. We have little girls playing at halftime. Part of this is that idea of young girls becoming women and having role models, which those first years, they did not have that. Those were ladies who didn't have anybody to look up to. So they really are the pioneers with Rob that really made this program what it is. So the hours of interviews are staggering, and then you have to wade through that to tell the story.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
We're glad you came.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I thought you were just coming to shoot the bull, but you
so
actually
did I. I didn't know
it. Name was something. I like it.
She had business.
Good.
Oh, I got to do a cross promo, Gurns. Also.
No more trivia.
No. But you and Coach Selvig will be Scott and Arnie's guests on our What Do You Know program that airs Sunday mornings at 8:00. So. In fact, that's how we ran into each other, because she was in here recording that program. And so I thought, wow, if she can come in here for Sports Talk Night, that'd be wonderful.
Very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Had to get that in there.
Well, hey, Megan, it was so good to see you again. It's been a long time,
too.
And good luck with the documentary, The House That Rob Built. Thanks, Megan. Megan Harrington, former Montana Lady Griz, and you know what? We will catch up with you when the movie's done.
Yeah.
Oh, great! I look forward to it.
How about that?
Got to do that.
Cool. Well, when we come back, Travis Walker on the phone from, I believe he's in Chicago tonight, talk about a little national soccer tournament for some girls here from Missoula. When we come back, Sports Talk Tonight.
Sports Talk Tonight, live from the KGVO studio.
Missoula Sports.
We're back. Sports Talk Tonight. Gurns and Bedard, brought to you by Bell McCall Ford. Great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Bell McCall is your locally owned low-cost auto dealer for over 100 years in downtown Hamilton. And by Granite Pharmacy, locally owned and operated pharmacy on South Avenue between Shopko and Big Sky High School. Find them at granitepharmacy.com. And The Peak, health and wellness with 3 premier facilities in Missoula and a dedicated staff to help you achieve and maintain your health and wellness goals. Obviously, they have not met me yet.
Do you want to get into steel while we wait for Mr. Walker, sir?
Yeah.
All right. We're expecting
former
Montana Grizzly receiver Travis Walker. We got the Brotherhood in here on the studio once he gets on the phone.
Oh, boy.
Travis Walker calling us. But before we get to that, the Steel of the Week is brought to you by True North Steel, Western Montana's industry leader in quality manufactured and fabricated steel products. Gurns, the Steel of the Week.
Denny, there's absolutely nothing going on in the world of sports right. There's no upsets. There's no.
Wow. So you're really challenged this week.
I am. Well, I'm challenged every week.
What a remarkable young man you are this year.
Yes. My steal of the week, though. I don't know if you watched that national championship game between Clemson and Alabama.
Yeah.
And Mike Williams, the receiver from Clemson, just all world, caught everything under the sun, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, he was the number 7 pick by the San Diego Chargers in the draft this year. And he had kind of a back injury and downplayed it. And he said he was fine. And, well, lo and behold, Mike Williams was playing a little bit more possum than he let on. And now he's probably going to have back surgery and be out for the season. Therefore, stealing a year's worth of money.
How do you hide that in combines and workouts?
I don't know.
And national championship games.
You know, those wide receivers are prima donnas.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Especially ones that kick, too, I suppose.
Yeah. But anyways, that's my steal of the week.
Stealing a year's salary because of a back problem.
Kind of like what I do at the radio station.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It was a lean week for steals.
Mm-hmm.
Was it any plumper for stupid athlete?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
This is great. My runner-up for stupid athlete of the week, Dante Fowler, star defensive end. It's always football players. I don't know what the deal is. But so he allegedly got in an altercation in a parking lot, punched a dude in the face, stepped on his glasses, threw his groceries into the lake. Guy was complaining about his driving somehow. I don't know what the heck happened. And then I find out that he's had 10 parking violations in the last 18 months as well. So that's my backup. But, you know, just a common thread. It's not Johnny Manziel this time. But who would be number 2? Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, Zeke moved up your list quite a ways.
You know, once again, he's fighting a 100-mile-an-hour speeding ticket. He's still going through the alleged assault on an ex-girlfriend. He pulled the lady's top down at the St. Patty's Day parade. The drug dispensary, the marijuana thing in Seattle after the preseason game. I mean, now he's alleged to have broken a guy's nose in a bar fight on Saturday. Can the kid just stay home and play Nintendo?
Yeah. I mean, none of that is as cute as jumping in a Salvation Army kettle, is it?
No, it's not.
Bad deal.
So that's my stupid. He's almost my stupid athlete of the year, but for this week, he is my stupid athlete of the week.
Big Sky Conference football kickoff, Park City, Utah, this week. I think they've wrapped it up. I'm not positive, but they announced their preseason offensive, defensive players and standings. And I suppose Coach Stitt put it best that given the way we finished last year, we're probably right about where we should be, being picked 6th in the Big Sky Conference. Did that surprise you, or do you kind of agree with it?
No, I don't agree with it, but it's funny. I was reading his comment, and then I was on Facebook, and some guys were, well, that's exactly the kind of attitude we don't need. But I'm like going, the guy's just being what? Guy's just being honest about. I mean, if he were to pick the team, maybe I think we're going to win it all. So, I always do though, but. I agree with the 6. I agree with how we finished the year last year. That's probably where we should be. But I think the future is definitely bright. Oh, is that Travis Walker?
Travis is on the line. If but he can wait for you to finish your what is that word? Proselytizing or something?
Well, I don't want to keep Travis waiting because he is a receiver and they are all prima donnas.
Oh, my gosh.
Travis Walker, former University of Montana wide receiver, great Plentywood, Montana.
Yeah.
Played here 1995 through 1999. When he was done, he finished his career with 1,868 total receiving yards, which was 11th at the time. I think you got to count your playoff yards. I didn't. But anyways.
I didn't get to count mine either.
That happened after you, too, didn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
You have got to get over your bitterness if you're going to conduct a good interview.
Well, okay.
Jeez.
Megan Harrington is still in the studio. Travis, she wanted to sit here and make sure you didn't say anything stupid.
Well, that's probably going to happen at some point.
That's not true.
Now, isn't your wife? Wasn't she a former teammate of Megan there, Travis?
She was, yeah. Katie McElmurray, yep, played with and alongside of Megan for quite a few years there. So
yeah.
amazing athlete.
Because your twos, Travis's and your career, with the exception of 1 year, overlapped, I think, pretty yeah.
And I will say this, that Katie can shoot the three-pointer better than Travis.
For sure.
And most,
if we would have had her in the Estes, we would have done a lot better a lot of years.
Yes, we would have. But hey, we're not here to talk about your football days, Travis. We're here to talk about a couple other sports that you're involved with
he's
now.
Branched out, hasn't he?
And you're over. Are you in Chicago right now, Travis? Or are you down in Indiana?
No, we're actually sitting right here on the Navy Pier in Chicago right now.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, cool place.
And Travis is a head coach of FC Missoula 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. FC Missoula 03 girls.
03 girls, U14 soccer team. They are bound for Westfield, Indiana, and the U.S. Club Soccer National Cup 16 finals, July the 21st.
Starting Friday, I believe, right?
Yeah. And boy, I tell you what, that's it's amazing. Every other year or every couple years, you see a team from Missoula. I don't care what sport it is. What you had the Billings squad go to the Little League World Series. We had the Missoula softball,
the Zootown All-Stars.
Zootown All-Stars.
Win it all.
And
years ago.
And now we've got you guys going to the Nationals over there in Indiana. That's quite a deal. That's awesome. How in the heck, you being a basketball player, how in the heck did you become a girls soccer coach?
Long story short, when my daughter was really young, she wanted to start playing soccer and absolutely wanted nothing to do with basketball at the time. So we were like, okay, one of us can figure out this sport. And 8 years later, here we are. So, yeah, and I still have not figured it out. Trust me. I coach it like I coach basketball or football.
More YouTube videos for the head coach, please.
Yes, exactly. That's a lot of it. And had a great load of mentors in Missoula with Heidi McDonald, Jay Anderson, Dave Peppinger. I mean, list goes on and on. But just a great bunch of people that have opened up their arms and welcomed their knowledge to somebody that had no knowledge at that point. So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Now, is this kind of similar to like a traveling basketball team, Travis? Is this like a traveling team for soccer?
It is, yeah, Gurns. Yeah, very, very close to that. We go pretty much all over the Pacific Northwest with this team. We play in a Washington league. The league schedule we have is all based out of Washington, and then tournaments we go to wherever, Seattle, Boise, anywhere in between, and go and play. So
now we were talking the other night, and you said that you guys were at the Northwest Regional Tournament in June there in Yakima, and kind of tell us how that went down. I know you outscored your opponents 15-7, but the first game was kind of interesting.
Yeah, first game was definitely our biggest challenge. We found ourselves, I think it was either a 2-0 or 3-0 hole, right? 15 minutes into the game, and everybody was looking around like deer in the headlights, and then they shook it off and did what they normally do, and then 3 more games followed that right after it. So I mean, they put together a string of games, and hopefully we can do that a few more times here. But you never know what will happen. So,
what's the? Do you know how the tourney's set up? Is it a pool play and then a bracket thing, or how does it work?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pool play. We play a team from New Jersey, a team from Boston, and a team from Pittsburgh. And then basically if you win your pool or you're in the next 2 highest from the combined pools, then you'll move on to the knockout round.
Is it 8 teams advance?
Yeah, 8 teams advance. Yep, exactly. Wow. So
pretty good guess from a non-soccer guy.
You're pretty good. Yeah, you got it down.
I don't remember putting that in your script for you either.
That's it's just years and years of
way to wing it.
Yeah.
And Travis, you explained a little bit how you got interested in trying to help out with soccer through your daughter and all, but the process that you ended up being the head coach, how did all that come about over the years?
Well, it was something where I started off just coaching them when they were playing 4v4 micro academy stuff, and it just kind of kept evolving with mainly this group of girls for the last now 5 or 6 years now. We've been pretty lucky to have almost all of these girls together right now. So, and they just, they're good friends on and off the field, and they work well together in practice, and then they've learned to trust each other, and it's a lot of the same same makeup as football or basketball, using your body, playing off of somebody, same reads, but just a different way to get open to do it. So
basically, you get along with all the parents, and they don't call you too much on the phone.
Well, no, and you know what? That. We have an awesome group of parents, and that's what we've always tried to do is form our groups around the parents first, because they're ultimately the ones that have to make the commitment to doing this, and then also, they're all the parents on our team are a great group of people, and fully support everything that we do.
And are these all Missoula and surrounding area kids, or can you choose from a larger area, or where are all the kids coming from?
Yeah, so we have 13 girls that are from Missoula on our team, and then we have 2 girls from Bozeman that are on our team.
All right.
So we have 15 girls, and it's a good group. They've got to be pretty locked in and pretty dedicated, to what they do, and they do it. So it shows. They do a great job.
Well, and I wish you all the luck in the world over there, Travis. Let me switch subjects a little bit to your now. For those of you that don't know, Travis's dad was a longtime coach at Plentywood High School. Your brother Nick's a coach. You're into the coaching ranks, so it figures. But you're also going to be wearing another hat coming up here in the winter, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, I am. We'll add one more thing to the mix here, which I'm very excited about, being the new coach at Loyola High School for the girls, and could not be more excited. We've already jumped in and have started a bunch of stuff, but when season ramps up, it's going to be a fun time.
It will, and that's it's pretty. I guess a feather in your cap. You not having any coaching experience, basically. You do with the AAU stuff and travel basketball, but just to kind of be hired at Loyola, that's got to be a big vote of confidence from that school and some big trust in you.
Oh yeah, they I've coached club and for a long time now, and had a lot of good success with different club teams and club sports, but it's a different beast. But everybody at Loyola is behind it. Parents seem to be behind it. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of a curve involved until we get everything put in that I want to put in. But when that happens, it's hopefully we'll be ready to go. So.
And has your daughter developed any interest in basketball yet?
Yes, she has. Yeah, not quite yet. As much as soccer, I think that would be a tough thing to pull away from her. But no, she definitely loves playing basketball now too. But I'd have to say soccer still trumps everything right now. So
what's funny is as Cameron, my son's doing the travel baseball and basketball and a whole bunch of other stuff. You look at the roster, and you've got Lauren Dick, who's father Ryan played basketball for Lady Griz. Your daughter, Audie McElmurray, who Blaine played football here, and her mom ran track. Aiden Ort, Dan played football for a while for the Griz. You just look at the roster, and it's cool for me because I went to college with a lot of these people, and now they've got kids playing, and it's cool to see and. Travis,
I think it's cool that it was probably all on the mother's side of the family where all the kids got their genes from. It probably was nothing on the father's side. So,
for sure, man.
But there's a lot of them that played college sports, and a lot that were good high school athletes that we have, their parents that we have on this team, and Chad Mayer, his daughter plays with us from Bozeman.
Oh, okay. I know Chad.
Yeah. So, yeah. So there's just you could just go on, and we just have such a great group of people. So it's fun.
Wow. Well, Gurns, I think when high school basketball season rolls around, we've got one Wednesday night guest booked already for sure. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
You have to come in the studio if you're going to be here, but
that'd be fine. I don't think I have any trips to Indiana lined up for high school season this year, so we should be good. So.
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers, that's right. Yes, we will be making an appearance at the Hoosiers gym as well when we're here.
Oh, cool.
Are you developing a coaching style as a soccer coach that you can carry into basketball? Are you defensive oriented? Are you attack? Or
it's up and down with a lot of elbows.
Okay. All right. You're the new assistant,
It's a lot of attack, and if we have to, we'll hold back for a second, regroup, and then bring a secondary break, as I've learned to call it. So
hey, listen to him.
Wow.
Pele. Soccer words.
Hey, Travis, we'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your evening over there in Chicago. Good luck in Indiana this weekend, and bring home a trophy, man.
Sounds great, guys. Thanks
you.
so much for having me on, and we'll do our best to represent us well.
Yep, and we will get you on during the basketball season too.
That sounds great. So,
all right, see you, Trav.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, bye.
Travis Walker,
cool,
head coach for the FC Missoula 03 U14 girls soccer team, as they are bound for Westfield, Indiana, starting Friday. U.S. Club Soccer National Cup 16 finals. Good luck.
Yeah.
When we come back, Denny, we'll talk about whatever the heck we want to. Right after this. Freeform. Rap. Sports Talk Tonight.
Now back to Missoula's Sports Talk Tonight on KGVO.
Missoula Sports.
Every second of every day.
We are back. Sports Talk Tonight, brought to you in part by Jerry Wessel's Tire Center. A locally owned Les Schwab Tire Center provides the best tire value promise. Visit them online at jerrywesselstirecenter.com. And by CHS Mountain West Co-op, Western Montana's source for Cynics fuel, feed, fertilizer, clothing, and tack for over 75 years. I'd like to thank our guests, Megan Harrington, Travis Walker, both coincidentally former Lady Griz and Grizzly athletes. They are brought to you, as always, by First Montana Bank, your home for free Centennial checking plus unlimited cash back every time you use your debit card. Online at firstmontanabank.com.
A 5'7" senior from Missoula, Montana, number 24, Megan Harrington.
Well, and you know what? And she will definitely take this as a compliment. She wasn't the fastest. She wasn't the biggest, but she was smart and she was scrappy.
Tenacious.
Yeah, big heart.
A lot of heart.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
And, and you could just tell she, my first year, in fact, that was the year she got hurt. You know, we were talking about injuries in that 98-99 season, which really kind of, the record was not quite as bad, but that season, that 98-99 season kind of mirrored this past season that Shannon Schwain had to endure because, and it was more than two, I think 3 or 4, really premier players were not able to play very much or any of that season. It was 98-99 to compound the matter. It was my first year doing public address for the Lady Griz.
And you're like, oh gosh, and I'm bringing them bad luck.
And it was at Sentinel High School.
Oh,
it was the year the Adams Center was being renovated.
Sure, and when she made the reference that and it happened at Sentinel, her being the Hellgate Knight.
Yeah,
in the rival gym,
the Bobcats. Yeah, all of that. But
and what a great project she's undertaking.
Yeah, just of course, I'm so close to all of that. The program near and dear to my heart, and all those players, and of course Coach Selvig and everything. But it's just so excited to see the finished product, and really rooting for her to be able to get that funded all the way it needs to be. And
the house that Rob built the house that Rob built movie.com. And what a great story for Megan too. She's here in Missoula and she decides to branch out, spread her wings, right, and just say, I'm gonna try to enroll in this program, and they accepted me, and here I go, and now I'm producing stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah. She didn't suggest that she do a documentary about this program, which was
but that's where we might have to.
I thought that might happen. Be so impressed and swept up in the moment, being with us in here that. She might, but
we have LA connections now, Denny.
We do.
We have LA
We are
connections.
Hollywood Gurns.
I love LA. We love it.
Let's see. We start. Travis Walker called as scheduled, and we did Steel and we did Stupid Athlete. I guess we kind of started talking about Grizzly football, and you can bet your bottom dollar we'll be talking about that a lot more in the next month or so. We'll probably get the voice of the Griz, Roddy Corcoran, back in. We'll get the house band guys. We'll get Eric Tabor, the sports information director. We'll do those kinds of things.
The other thing that came out of the meetings down there in Park City was the preseason all league picks.
Right.
Montana State, I believe, was picked 8th.
Correct.
In the league. They had Mac Bignell, linebacker, was projected to be first team all league. Montana had 3. David Reese at tackle. Josh Buss at linebacker, and then who was the
Jerry Louis
McGee. There we go. Those 3 guys representing Montana in the preseason deal. So that's cool.
And you talk about being picked to finish 6th, and of course it's all preseason stuff, so it's more fun and conjecture and everything. But,
it is, and you know what? All it is how you finished last year and basically what you got coming back for starters the year before.
Yeah.
But then there's all that other intangible stuff. It's, for instance, nobody knows who the quarterback at Montana is going to be.
Exactly.
And that
maybe that brought them down a little bit in the predictions. But I also look at stuff. Washington Grizzly Stadium is a pretty tough place to play. A little bit shaky last year, but it's always going to be a really tough place to play. And when you've got the 3 teams that are picked to finish 1, 2, 3, that's North Dakota, Eastern Washington, Northern Arizona. Montana has all of them at home. The team picked to finish 4th, Cal Poly. We don't play them this year. The team picked to finish 5th, Weber. That's the one road game of those teams picked in front of you.
And you know what? It's about time. We haven't had a favorable schedule.
I'd say this
with the unbalanced schedule.
Yep. I'd say this one.
It is.
Tough games, but at least you got them at home.
British Open pick, Denny.
Oh, British Open pick. I am going to go.
We're picking 2 guys.
Yeah, all right, because I know he likes these kind of courses, and I have it here. Ricky Fowler, and I'll go with Dustin Johnson.
Oh, I picked Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler. Go,
Fair
Ricky.
enough.
He dresses really cool.
You and me and Ricky.
Sports Talk tonight. See you next week, Denny.